Across the country, I am seeing a powerful migration of business owners departing states like New York and Virginia and relocating their companies to Florida and Texas. Following the high profile election cycle, the pace of that movement has surged dramatically. At my law firm, Cummings and Cummings Law, which is, by the way, a multi state business and tax firm, we have recorded a sharp and immediate increase in clients seeking information on how to relocate the legal domicile of their small or medium sized business. What we are witnessing is not just a geographic shift, rather, it is a deeper and permanent realignment of where American entrepreneurs and business owners feel they can grow and thrive. My name is Chad Cummings, and I am an attorney and certified public accountant serving clients in matters of business, tax, and commercial law throughout the great states of Florida and Texas. I am Chief Executive Officer of the law firm Cummings and Cummings Law. I also teach business law at the university level, and I hold 4 degrees, including 2 law degrees, together with a variety of tax, financial, and accounting credentials, which I apply for the benefit of my clients in my practice of law. Our firm website is www.cummings.law. Election outcomes have always shaped business decisions, sometimes more blatantly than others. But this year's results in New York City and Virginia have created an unprecedented scale and scope of business migrations. Between new tax proposals, rising administrative costs, and an increasingly polarized political climate, many business owners have simply decided they've had enough. Entrepreneurs and business owners are voting with their feet and their wallets. In the days since the high profile New York City and Virginia elections, our firm has seen a 225% increase in inquiries about moving companies from high tax jurisdictions into Florida or Texas, the 2 states where we practice law. The majority of these business owners cite fears of new surtaxes, capital gains reclassifications, and heavier compliance burdens that could strangle growth for the several years to come. Most of these inquiries originate from professional service firms, family investment entities, and closely held businesses that have long been based in places like Manhattan, Northern Virginia, and Fairfax County. These are sophisticated, well run companies, but they are tired of operating in jurisdictions where they feel penalized for their success. And they are looking for predictability and stability, 2 things that Florida and Texas offer in spades. The tool they are inquiring about is called redomestication. Redomestication is a legal process that allows a business to change its legal home, also referred to as legal home of domicile or state of domicile, from one state to another state without dissolving, merging, or losing its federal employer identification number, contracts, or credit history. That means a company can legally move to a new state while keeping its continuity intact. When executed correctly, it is seamless from the perspective of vendors and customers, but it is transformative internally. It is the cleanest and frankly simplest way to relocate an existing operating business without burning it down and starting over by means of merger or dissolution. Florida and Texas make this process especially attractive. Both states have zero personal income tax, minimal annual filing requirements, and statutory frameworks that explicitly permit these redomestications. Their legal systems are predicated to encourage business formation and growth. And for owners who are weary of the unpredictability and mounting costs of doing business in places like New York or Virginia, the difference is night and day. They go from fighting to stay compliant to instead focusing their valuable energies and efforts on building their companies again. But this is not a simple check the box exercise. Every redomestication must be carefully sequenced to avoid costly and sometimes permanent mistakes. If a company files documents in the wrong order or fails to coordinate its filings appropriately between the jurisdictions, it can accidentally trigger dissolution or an undesirable IRS recognition event that can wipe years off the corporate history. I have seen clients come to us after a DIY effort gone wrong, and it is not easy nor cheap to fix. A single misfiled document can literally erase everything. I've seen it happen. That is why professional guidance is critical. This process touches corporate law, tax law, and sometimes even employment and licensing law, all of which must be aligned and sequenced perfectly to ensure a smooth and lawful transition. Our firm's job is to make these redomestications seamless and defensible. We structure every move to preserve the company's identity and minimize tax exposure wherever possible. The goal is not just relocation, it is optimization. And when done properly, a business can continue operating without any disruption whatsoever while positioning itself for years of growth under a friendlier legal regime. It is a rare opportunity to protect and preserve both continuity and future flexibility. The post election surge in redomestications tells me this is not a short term knee jerk reaction. Instead, it is part of a longer trend that has been building for years. Political and fiscal uncertainty in legacy states has reached a breaking point, and many small and mid sized business owners are no longer waiting for stability to return. They are acting now, pulling their capital, pulling their employees, and reincorporating via redomestication in states that respect their right to operate efficiently. Now, for some, the decision is ideological. No surprise there. But for others, including many independents, it is purely economic and purely practical. But the pattern is unmistakable. We expect this trend to continue through 2026 and 2027, certainly in the lead up to midterms and probably beyond. Florida and Texas are not just winning on taxes, they are winning on predictability, which is even more important. Their statutes are clear, their filing costs and compliance burdens are low, and their courts have well developed corporate and business jurisprudence. Meanwhile, states losing businesses like Delaware, like New York, like California, like Virginia, have exactly the opposite. Shrinking tax bases, heavier fiscal pressures, mounting compliance burdens, and the likelihood of even more aggressive tax proposals in the near term. It is a feedback loop that drives still more businesses away. For business owners considering a move, the benefits go beyond mere tax relief. They gain structural simplicity, lower compliance costs, and the freedom to plan for the long term without political whiplash. But the key is doing it right the first time by working with attorneys who understand the legal, financial, and procedural mechanics. Done correctly, the move is invisible to customers and vendors. Done carelessly, it can create months, if not years, of operational disruption and potential tax exposure. That is no embellishment. What is happening right now represents a fundamental reordering of the business map of America. Capital, talent, and ambition are flowing toward jurisdictions in great abundance that reward efficiency and autonomy. Florida and Texas are leading that charge, and the businesses following them are reshaping the country's economic landscape in the process for decades to come. As I often tell my clients, this is not about politics. It's not about Team Red. It's not about Team Blue. It is about stability, control, and freedom. Redomestication is simply the legal expression of a broader truth. Entrepreneurs and business owners build the future in places where the rules make sense. At my law firm, we are helping them get there safely, one redomestication at a time. Again, my name is Chad Cummings, and I hope that you found this information useful. As always, the information in this video is general in nature and is not legal advice, because legal advice, by definition, must be specific to a particular set of facts and circumstances. Should you have any questions regarding the content of this presentation or of any of my earlier presentations, please visit my firm website at www.cummings.law, not .com, but .law, to schedule time for a consultation. I look forward to the opportunity to speak with and perhaps even work with you very soon.